Hey, y'all. Hey, Nikki.
Hey, Salina.
And welcome to Sweet Tea and TV. So, last season, we introduced a new episode format. It's like a catch-all episode where we attempt to catch the last little glimmers of the series that we're covering. In this case, we've been covering Sex in the City. Should you come in on the What Have We Missed episode? Anything's possible.
And you made it past the title that says Sex in the City.
Who am I to judge? If you're going to come in anytime.
Anytime.
We take cash anytime.
Stop.
We really don't, though.
Stop.
Nikki doesn't like these jokes. Anyways, we have a lot of. Well, I think it's tacky to call me tacky.
Tacky.
So we have to do a lot of narrowing, just so you know, in the background to provide a flavor of the show within a fairly tight amount of episodes.
I'm so proud of you for being able to do that.
This show first,
but this show in particular would be, especially knowing how much it meant to you, would be really hard, I feel like, to streamline down. And then you're constantly, I hear you doing it constantly, like, well, you missed that, or we didn't get to that. And I know it must just be eating at you that there are pieces of it that are getting left out.
As much as anything eats at me these
well, sure.
days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I think a couple of things there. One is you gave me a really good idea, which is like the Chat GPT piece. Okay. And like sometimes it's not a complete reliance because it can't be. And I had to fix some things, but like I think the point is you're right. I do feel passionate about these shows and some of these episodes. And for that very reason, sometimes you gotta let the baby go instead of split the baby in two. You know what I'm saying? So I let the baby go. But because of that, we missed some really key episodes along the way. So we're gonna try and fix that. We'll also revisit the show as a whole, including some discussion about guest stars and cameos that we missed. Nikki, you've done like a really fantastic job bringing that in along the way. But because we've missed episodes, we've missed some big cameos.
Got it.
So that'll be in the mix. And then we're also going to talk about what stuck with us from the series this time around. Make sure that Nikki doesn't have any lingering questions. Obviously, that first one belongs to me because it's first time around for you. You know what I'm saying? That would be weird. But we're going to revisit our superlatives from the beginning of the season. And then we're going to see, have either of us landed on which Sex in the City character we are? And then maybe have we landed on who the other one is? So that could be a dangerous question that I didn't introduce. And I really did. So let's just see how we feel when we get there.
Panic.
I don't want you to panic.
Panic.
For those purists out there, we did mention the episodes that we watched before, but I'm going to say them again in case you want to stop now. Watch them and come back. Anything could happen. I mean, I don't know,
Sorry?
I just want to meet Nikki. I want to meet you where you are. Listeners, I want to meet you where you are. I hope it's somewhere cool, like Budapest. Whatever. So here's what we watched. Season 1, episode 12, O Come All Ye Faithful. Season 3, episode 17, What Goes Around Comes Around. Season 4, episode 3, Defining Moments. Season 6, episode 12, One. Season 6, episode 14, The Ick Factor. I'm going to go through these and give a quick summary. They are not as thoughtful as Nikki's. So if you want to hear something thoughtful, go back and listen to the ones that Nikki pulled together.
The ones I copied and pasted from the Sex and the City wiki or IMDb.
That's thoughtful. That's thoughtful. That takes thought.
You know what I love? I love how neither one of us can see ourselves, because I copy and paste these summaries and I'm like, Salina always does such a great job of like putting it into her own words and like really giving it the writer's treatment. And I'm like, copy and paste.
Well, this is a mashup, so we'll see.
Okay.
For O Come All Ye Faithful, the too long didn't read is that this is Carrie's first breakup with Big. She breaks up with him after he can't tell her, and only her, that she's, quote, the one. And this will come back in the series finale. That's why I added it in the very end.
Okay.
And I also had this there was somebody wrote an article that talked about like these are all the episodes you need to watch. It was the only one on the list that we hadn't already watched. So I tagged it in. We
Okay.
needed it.
That sounds
But
good.
also happening in the background of this episode, Miranda dates a playwright with sex is dirty issues. Big doesn't want Carrie to meet his religious mommy. Samantha falls in love with a man named James, but just one tiny problem. He has a tiny penis. Charlotte goes esoteric in her quest for love. I may have written that. It sounds like me a little bit.
Sounds like you. Yep.
Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Not that time.
All right, what goes around comes around. Again, the too long didn't read. Carrie gets her comeuppance from the big affair. This is the one that came up during our fashion extra sugar. So Carrie is robbed at gunpoint. He gets her Manolos and her Fendi baguette, ultimately determining this is bad karma from her big affair. Later, she has an awkward AF conversation with Natasha to try and fix said karmic problem. Miranda dates the hottie McHottie detective that arrived on the scene after Carrie was robbed. Charlotte kisses the gardener 3 months into her marriage to Trey. Sam Jones intercepts calls from another Sam Jones and then gets her own karmic retribution after sleeping with him. So,
She intercepts
I
calls.
also wrote that. What's the sound?
I was going to say she intercepts calls for Sam Jones and also intercepts Sam Jones.
Yeah.
They have a whole
Yes.
thing.
Sexually.
Yes.
That's just a good, okay. Just wanted to put it out there, you know.
Just put the finest point on it.
I want to be very clear. Also, I can't see that kid who is older than us in real life without thinking of the European Euro Trip movie. I just blew your mind, didn't I? Yeah.
Okay, hold on. You carry on. I got some research to do over
so that
here.
means 3 years later. So he was playing a college student in this, and 3 years later he's graduating from high school. But who's counting? You know, not me. So season 4, episode 3, defining moments. We are watching this one because it's the one where Samantha gets a girlfriend, Maria, who is a painter at Charlotte's gallery. But in other news, Carrie meets a jazz man while on a pseudo date with Big. Miranda tries to get more comfortable using the bathroom in front of her date. Like, I can't believe I'm reading these words right now. And then Charlotte finds out that Trey only wants to have sex in places where they can get caught. And Nikki is having her mind blown
That
about
is
Euro Trip.
crazy. That's one of my favorite movies, and I did
It's
not
so
realize
good.
that was the same guy.
What's the girl's name that Matt Damon has that? Senna didn't know.
Scotty doesn't know
Scotty didn't
that
know.
Fiona
Yeah, yeah.
and me do it in my van every Sunday.
I love Matt Damon.
So good.
He's a treasure. you
I
know?
listen to Scotty Doesn't Know sometimes just because it's a good song. It's a jam.
So I think you know that sometimes our movie taste does not
Correct.
align.
Yeah.
But there's one where
There,
it does.
you're right. There's one.
Yeah, objectively a bad movie that I
Yes.
love. And you do
Yes.
too.
Yes.
So
Never
put it on the
to
list.
Berlin.
You could put it on the list.
Put it on the list. It's one of mine and Kyle's favorite. We quote that movie all the time. It's just classic. Carry on.
It is. It's goody. And it's now 22 years old.
Stop it.
Uh-huh. Okay, the next episode that we watched, short little interlude there, is season 6, episode 12, 1. We're watching this one for the Charlotte plot because Nikki, as we have discussed earlier and throughout the season, I thought this was such a beautiful episode for Kristen Davis that really showcased a side of Charlotte that we don't often get to see. She is also the good on paper girl, you know, and not to say that she's not good on paper in this episode, but we get to see her be a more authentic version and go through something that's like really real. However, I'm going to knock my microphone around first. And then second, other things going on in the episode. Carrie meets Petrovsky for the first time. Miranda's new boyfriend, Robert, says, I love you on a cookie. Where's my I love you cookie, Nikki?
She really did
Just
not
something to think
take
about.
that as well as she could have.
I would take it great. And
Although, to be
it's
fair,
also-
she ate it all, so maybe she did take it as well as I would have.
I mean, the end result is the same.
Correct.
I'm going to eat the whole cookie, but
Correct.
like hers was out of fear and mine's out of pleasure.
Okay.
Pleasure for the cookie.
Good,
Calm
good.
down.
Yes.
Anyways, so when she eats said cookie with I love you on it, it makes her realize she's still in love with Steve, and Samantha's bottom half becomes Bozo the Clown. I definitely wrote that. And then season 6, episode 14, The Ick Factor. You all, if you haven't been around, y'all, if you haven't been around a while, part of my good time is making Nikki uncomfortable at least 3 times per episode. In The Ick Factor, we are watching this one because Samantha finds out that she has cancer. This is a pivotal plot line that we're mainly missing throughout the series. And so wanted to make sure that Nikki gets a little exposure to like what is like, again, like just a really meaningful plot for one of the characters that often gets maybe a little sidelined, or like their plot lines can be a little frivolous. See the Bozo the Clown plot.
That's serious
above.
stuff.
Well, I don't disagree on a certain level. But meanwhile, same episode, Carrie is overwhelmed by Alexander's intense romancing. Miranda and Steve get hitched. Charlotte and Harry get the poops, proving once and for all the couple who poops together stays together.
You wrote that.
Okay, so all of these are mine. But I just want to say for the record, Nikki, did you hear any of that and been like, what a beautiful writer?
I did. It's clever. It's so clever. I love the creativity. I did. Way better than mine.
It just makes you want a cheese cart, doesn't it?
Fromage.
Bring it on. Okay, that's it.
All right.
Bye.
Been a good episode. Are we ready for our watch party notes?
I think so.
First up, we got some general reactions. You want to get us started?
Yeah, mine are very brief, okay? It's just like this. This show is a gosh darn delight. That was my takeaway from these 6 episodes.
Oh.
Was it 5? 6? It doesn't matter. From the 5. From
Smattering.
these 5 episodes. It just like they were very happy making, and I honestly don't get a lot of time with season 6. And so going back and revisiting that and seeing like, okay, personally, I think the burger episodes were a fall off in the series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love them. But then they turn around and they really bring it home in the rest of the season. And I think that really speaks to just how good everyone on this show is. So that's my first general. And then we talked about this recently, but this idea of bingeability. This is way before the binge era. It wasn't even really possible, you know, and it is so highly bingeable. So in a way, this has got to be like the real modern turning point in this time period of like making shows that are just like built for that. And part of it too, if you think about it, is the structure of HBO. There's no commercials.
It's the HBO effect. The Game of Thrones is the same way. Like I wouldn't binge Game of Thrones because that's a lot of heaviness, like back to back to back. But you remember, like, we're of this unique generation. Like, our parents can remember when, like, a Cheers cliffhanger would leave them holding for a week. We're old enough to remember that, and also to have embraced the binge, the back to back weekend watch of the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which gets me every time if I start that, or a Sex and the City sort of thing, and you just watch them all back to back. So I think about the people who watch this in real time on HBO, and my heart is with them because I watched Game of Thrones in real time on HBO, and I know what it means to wait 1 week to the next to try to see what happens.
I mean, we're from such a beautiful era.
We are just like history all the time.
We have it all.
We have everything. We do. That's one way to say it.
What are your general reactions?
Okay, let's see. I got 3. Season 6. So you just mentioned you don't get to spend a lot of time with season 6. First of all, this is not one of my general reactions, but it was occurring to me as I was watching some of these episodes in this one. It's like that thing that happens in Designing Women. There's like a moment where you're watching it where you officially realize you've left the 80s and now it's feeling like a more current show. Season 6 feels like that to me.
Okay.
Like the first couple of seasons, I'm like, we are fully in 1998. And then we hit like season 6 and I'm like, oh, this feels current. Like this feels like a Today show.
Well, you almost feel like the cameras get better.
Yeah, absolutely. And
like
there may
HD
be
came in
something
at some
to that.
point.
There may
Yeah.
be something to that. But season 6 itself, really my actual general reaction is that it was so beautiful for Miranda and Charlotte. We got like a lot of character, I want to say character growth, but also just their storylines progressed a lot. So like Miranda finally embraces her love for Steve. Charlotte pushed through all of these weird insecurities she had about Harry to ultimately marry him and get pregnant, get unpregnant, and then push through all of that life experience. And she got a dog. That's a lot.
A very cute dog.
A very cute dog.
I mean, Liz Taylor.
Yeah. So that was one general reaction. The other one I had was that the big breakup, the first breakup in season 1, episode 12, O Come All Ye Faithful, so anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Wasn't at all what I was expecting. And also it's super infuriating once you know what you know about the Aiden of everything. Like in season 1, all she wants is a commitment from Big. By season 5, she gets that from Aiden and runs away from it.
Because she wants Big.
For reasons we've discussed, certainly for reasons we've discussed, but it just like when you put it that bluntly, it's just like, women, they just don't know what they want.
What if that was like our takeaway from this whole show? Ugh,
Women, the worst.
You just can't live with them or without them.
And then my last
Workshop that.
last general reaction, we talked about this a little bit in the last main episode, was this is the first time I really got to see how serious Trey's issues were. He wasn't willing to fight at all. When she makes out with the gardener and he's out playing tennis and he basically just says like, if I just need to look the other way, I'll just look the other way. And he happily separates from her for a while with no conversation. Like his issues ran so deep. Again, such a tragic character.
You know, you talking also like I just like put myself in that world and I was thinking, and maybe this will be a good bridge to our likes, I don't know, but like I actually really I wouldn't want to be there in real life, but in terms of just being like I guess like a voyeur into that world, into that upper crust waspy world, I think was like a fun place to be for a minute. Like, and it's very Desperate Housewives.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that show.
Oh, you haven't? Mm-mm. Okay. Like, honestly, like I think they're like a little wealthier than Desperate Housewives, but like other than that, because it is this picture. The whole premise, really, of Desperate Housewives is like Sex in the City is gone and we need another show with 4 women. Oh. But also, the other premise is that everything is picture perfect and everything is broken beneath. And we're going to spend X amount of seasons unpacking just how broken it is and how these women pretend on the surface that everything is okay. And that world exudes that in such an interesting way. Yeah. Like it's a car crash that you can't stop watching.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I just like that so much.
I love it. I love it. It breaks me. It just absolutely breaks me.
Yeah. So are we into the likes now?
I think we can go into the likes. What did you like, Salina?
I liked the gardener.
What a treat that was.
That was a treat. I forgot how much of a treat that was.
That was enjoyable.
I may or may not have, like, I really pushed it. I think we both have been very honest with each other that it was a little, like, we were really squealing in on 2 wheels to prepare for these episodes. Yes. And I think I was watching this while I was driving.
I did that with Golden Girls last season on the way to a recording session.
I love it.
To be fair, we're listening. We're listening, not watching, right?
Yes, but I did look down accidentally, and I'm lucky that gardener didn't make me wreck.
Oh.
Anyway, so that was good, but my serious
I just spilled water all over myself. Oh.
So, season 3, episode 17, What Goes Around Comes Around. The best part of that whole episode for me is her getting robbed at gunpoint. And I just mean like everything that happened it was like pitch perfect. I thought it was like it's weird to say, but it was very thoughtful. Like just these little tiny moments that you could like miss really easily if you're, say, driving and not watching it. So this is why this is the only reason why you shouldn't drive and watch television at the same time. But first, there's this, she just has to tell him that it's not a bag, it's a baguette,
Yeah, right.
And then him specifically asking for Manolos. I also just want to say, Quam, how come he knows Manolos, but he doesn't know Fendi baguette?
I didn't know a Fendi baguette, yeah.
Too new, maybe. I think it had only come out the year before, but I'm just saying, plot hole? I don't know. The narration, they weren't just after money anymore. They were after fashion. Just made me chuckle. And then her running off and screaming, somebody stop him. He took my strappy sandals, and topped off with her in the moment realization that she is in fact barefoot in a back alley in New York City, and you hear her go, ugh, gross. Like,
which is hilarious because the second she started running, I thought, oh, gross. She's running through New York with no shoes on.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm so curious if she ad-libbed that or if that was written. I get the sense this was like a show where you did what the writer said, not to like an Aaron Sorkin level, but they took that pretty seriously, but we'll see. Then, of course, her running into the nail salon, and she yells to everyone that she's been robbed, and they just like look up and look back down.
Sounds like a you problem.
It's so perfect. I have some others, but what's on your list?
I had season 3, episode 17, What Goes Around Comes Around. So when Miranda and the cop get to date, one, just the validation of like, also he was a visual treat and a treat for the senses, really. And he was attracted to her. And I just love that for Miranda. I love that for her journey. But she says, maybe after years of dating odd men, the universe is throwing me a bone. And my thing about Steve is such that I would absolutely put him in the odd men category. So she said that, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
that makes sense. Well, he's very like George Clooney-esque, and Steve is very like if Stuart Little was a human, like cute, but is it not George Clooney? You know what I'm saying? So.
That's true.
I want to revisit the fact that Steve is like my favorite character.
Oh, I know.
It's all thanks to David Eigenberg.
So he is a really likable guy. And I do think my plan is to watch this show in its entirety because, like you said, it is bingeable. When I'm not under the gun, I will happily sit and watch with was it Defining Moments. You said there's sort of like an arc that happens there with Samantha's storyline, and you had said like if you have time, like you might want to watch a couple, and I sure did, just like right there in a row. And then I was like, what are you doing? You've got actual episodes to watch to prepare for this, but here I am like 5 episodes deep. So my plan is to watch, and I do wonder if my perspective on him changes with like the full context of his character.
I'll be interested to see. So it may not, I just got to leave the door open for what makes sense for you. So I should go ahead and just foreshadow the fact that, like, with the exception of the season 1 finale, I had something from every episode.
Oh, wow. Something that you liked. Well, go for it. Tell me more.
Okay. So Defining Moments, you were just there. So let's stay there for a minute. It's another Carrie moment for me. Her Big and the jazz man in the back of the car.
Oh.
Was everything to me. Like, she is clearly into this guy. Big either doesn't see it or doesn't want to see it or thinks it's funny or all 3. I can't really decide because he does have like such a, like he is like kind of like a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I could see him just thinking it's great to be there and just get under her skin while she's trying to get under someone else's skin. So I don't know.
I think that's absolutely what was happening.
And like that he loved every second of it. But Jasmine does not care either. Like, he does not care if Big is there. Like, that doesn't matter. and he
Because
hits on her anyway.
Jazzman lives on another planet.
Right. And that is a choice if you think about it. Like, because it's actually not clear whether the two of them are together until
Oh,
she's like receptive to
yeah.
him coming on to her. But like when she can't find the pin and Big has one, and oh yeah, he remembers her number by heart
Oh, yeah.
and says it out loud. Like, just all of that is everything. Their flirtatiousness in that one, I also think, is like pretty charming. I mean, it shouldn't be, but I can't help it. Like, they just have so much charisma together.
Yeah.
And so when he does like the eyebrow thing to her, and she's like, "There will be no," like, this is another moment that also lives rent free in my mind. How many likes are we looking at for you?
You just keep
You just,
going.
okay. So in one, I've kept it to two. I hear it. 1, 2. Kristen Davis's performance, especially right after the miscarriage, sitting there alone in the house, for me, is stellar. Like, it doesn't last long, but what she does with that very tiny amount of time, it's so real. And honestly, she does not have to say much. That wasn't her job. It's her presence, it's her energy, it's the rawness of it all. I just thought it was truly stunning. And then for those of us who continue to root for Steve, the laundry room scene where Miranda tells him that she loves him.
Yeah.
And then Magda comes in and steals the whole show. Because she just knows.
Yeah.
She just knows. Because Magda knows everything.
Magda knows
That's it.
everything. The Kristen Davis part, and I think this might show up later in my notes, on a very superficial level, she's also not really wearing any makeup and is just totally natural for the first time, like we have seen in the show. And when I looked at her face, I feel like I have looked like that. Right after a really traumatic situation or in the midst of grief. And that just felt like it's almost like I don't look like Kristen Davis, but like mirroring where I like looked at her and I was like, oh God, I know that feeling in the pit of your stomach. And the fact that she could communicate that, like you said, with very little of anything. She just sort of sat there and exuded the energy, and the fact that I could resonate with that so deeply and know exactly in that moment what she was thinking. It was a very beautiful performance.
Yes. And I mentioned in our last Extra Sugar about Cindy Shupak.
Mhm.
And I think she talks about this episode with Kristen Davis. And like how like they were talking about like they hadn't been through anything like this, but they had friends that had, and so they had to like kind of rely on emotional notes either of hardships that they had been through or like thinking about their friends. And I thought that they nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree, there was something in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've ever like, even if it's just been with a friend who's going through something, because it's an energy, it's a weight, it's more than a look.
Yeah.
It's just a feeling. And man, she just nailed it.
Yeah.
I had like a lot of likes for the ick factor.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I just go ahead and say that this is my favorite out of the batch. I forgot just how much, like I said, I haven't spent time with season 6 in a really long time. I think Charlotte is so funny in this episode. Like, it's like a very good use of her traditional prim and proper stance on everything to come in with some zingers. So first, her reaction to Miranda's strong opinion on weddings. So Miranda goes, "Okay, everybody, stop. It's not a big deal. I'm not engaged. I'm not doing the big circus wedding. There will be no white dress or bridesmaids or pose pictures. I hate all that shit." And Charlotte goes, "That's your choice. Every bride has to find her own style." But then it's the facial expression that she gives at the end. And I swear to God, that facial expression says, "I now know what was inside Miranda's head through both of my weddings." And also maybe up her nose with a rubber hose. But then
That's so true. Oh my gosh.
But then later, her reaction to Carrie and Samantha turning down all her gift ideas. It's just, this is pretty. And it's probably Carrie. She says, like, She'll hate that. Too domestic and too bridey. Let's try not to piss her off.
Try not
Maybe
to
we
piss
should
her
just
off. I
buy
love
her a
that line.
stapler, wrap it in brown paper, and just smear some dog poo on it. Think she'd be comfortable with that? And they're like, okay, fine, we'll get the dish. It's like
Oh,
seriously some of the best uses of Charlotte.
that is so true. 100%
They're
agree.
so good
100%.
because it took that thing that can be annoying about Charlotte and made it like primetime funny.
Yes.
Miranda, also very funny in this scene where she tells them that she's getting married. She finally walks out because they're all sobbing and says, "This is exactly what I don't want. No tears. Oh my God, I can't believe it. That's it. You're all freaking me out. Samantha, I expected
I
more from you."
expected more from you. Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, and then, there's like, so you have to understand, this was mine and Ashley's show.
Okay.
Hands down. Like we lived together during this time period. We thought we were Sex in the City. We were not. But that's what you think when you're 19, okay? So like we loved every single thing, and I absolutely love this line, and I think of Ashley every time I hear it cuz I said no white, no ivory, nothing that says virgin. I have a child. The jig is up. And like Ashley always says, the jig is up.
I also really liked in that scene when she's on the phone with Carrie, and this whole time she's like putting the phone down and telling this lady these things. And then finally she goes, like, I don't remember, she's like, I gotta go or whatever, but she like hangs up the phone and goes, we gotta have another talk. Because this sales lady is clearly not picking up what she is putting down. And it's time.
Right.
We're gonna figure this out. It's time.
Simultaneously, I feel bad for the salesperson.
Sure.
I'm like, that is not the person I want to be with. But like, it's funny too, because it's also like just again like strong writing because what a good choice to have her out picking out her wedding dress on her lunch break, right?
Yeah, right.
She don't
It's
have time for this.
super Miranda. I don't have
Right.
time for this crap.
Yeah, it's like picking up milk from the store. It's okay if the milk is white though. That's fine.
Maybe.
Who knows? I don't know. Carrie's reaction to Alexander's romancing. This is my final like. Okay, her reaction. I'm talking about specifically outside of the opera. So she says, "Meanwhile, if anything happened on the way to the opera, wait, what? The music, this place, you. Isn't it perfect? Would you dance with me?" It was the most romantic moment. And then Carrie faints in like the most dramatic fashion. And then, "Are you okay?" "No, it's too much. I'm an American. You gotta take it down a notch." I just love that. I thought that was wonderful.
I was annoyed by that.
The whole thing, really.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it. I'll just get through the rest of this to say the other thing that I really liked was the Oscar de la Renta dress. That actually is also a top fashion moment for me that I had forgotten about when we did the fashion episode. I stand by my choice for the character of Carrie and the Versace dress, but that Oscar de la Renta dress is everything. The McDonald's scene, I think it's great, but hold on for a second because let me tell you why. Okay. And I thought like, I need you to know that this was super annoying to me, especially at 19 when they start dancing in the McDonald's.
Okay.
Because in this scenario at 19, I would have been the person behind the counter working at McDonald's, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think about this couple being in there in their Oscar de la Renta and probably like Prada suit or whatever, or tux, and me like kind of wanting to be like.
I mean, you
"Please
can see
get
the
out of my
person in the
face."
background watching them. Like, can you just pay?
Her is me at 19. Okay. So,
Just
but
pay and let's
there
all move
were-
on.
Right. But there were aspects about this that I like watching it now. Like, I think the thing about her like trying to get him to eat a fry and he doesn't want it. And she's like, "It's French." And he's like, "Okay," and takes it. But the dancing and all of that is a non-starter for me. That's unnecessary. Tell me why it annoyed you. That would be a great bridge into dislikes.
I just didn't. I didn't understand.
You like the romance.
I think it would be too much for me too. But Carrie's just always so over the top. She's just like fainting over
Right.
that.
She doesn't like the drama of the romance, so she faints.
Creates
like
her own drama.
A woman in a fairy tale.
Yeah, it was just weird. It was just weird.
Yeah. So I just want to say it's not the fainting I liked. It's the I'm an American. You got to take it down a notch.
Well, you know what's also interesting to me, and this is the other thing I've been sort of noodling with a little bit, is it's bizarre for someone in New York City to feel as uncultured as she does. I'm an American, you got to take it down a notch. He took her to the opera. He took her
It's
to
not
a
the
French
opera,
restaurant.
though. It's the romancing, I think. It's the dance with me in the middle of the street. I think it's that. I don't think it's the opera.
Yeah.
Like for whatever it's worth. I think it's that part of it. Like because Americans aren't really like stereotypically as romantic.
Excuse me, Harry Goldenblatt proved that American men can be very romantic.
That's true.
He gave her the
key
damn
part.
fromage.
He gave her the poops.
I loved watching Harry and Charlotte were both like collapsed on the bed after their various and sundry bowel movements.
I think that was the most romantic thing of the entire episode.
Do you know, truly, in all seriousness, I've been thinking about this a lot, and it comes up in in our book club this week. But that true love to me, and I'm so like fascinated when people can't see this, and there's no way you can tell someone this, but like true love is really being together in those like really dark and like otherwise unenjoyable moments, and having someone there holding your hand. Like when I had the flu recently, incidentally, I watched the Samantha episode where she had the flu when I had the flu. And at one point I just walked downstairs and I said, Kyle, can I just put my head in your lap for a minute? And just like, can you just pet my head for a second? Like just having someone be there for you, the most mundane parts of life. And so watching Charlotte and Harry do that, I was like, that could never be Charlotte and Trey. They never could have done that.
No. They would have never even accepted both of them being in the bathroom at the same time.
No.
Which, by the way, I also don't accept.
Kyle and I couldn't do that either. And actually, that's one of the things I didn't like in this batch of episodes was the boyfriend or the date or whoever who would go to the bathroom in front of Miranda.
Yeah,
that killed me.
That's a non-starter. Yeah,
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely
I'm an
not.
only child, and you're not.
I'm
So,
not.
but you're also never nude. You've got strict rules.
There's dozens of us. Dozens.
I say there's more. I have at least a few never nudes among my friends. So you're not alone. You're in good company and you're all highly clothed.
It's protection, Salina.
I think
Protection.
it's I celebrate you.
Speaking of disliking being naked, do you want to talk about dislikes next?
Sure.
Did you make it through all your likes?
Look at you. Yes, I did. I have very few dislikes.
Okay.
Okay.
I could, because I didn't contribute much last time. I can contribute that the exploration of religion in season 1, episode 12 was so surface level and lame. I feel like I really would have loved to have had a deeper insight into these women's take on religion, especially because we were reading the book at the same time. And I think that, it just would have been interesting to hear the New York state of mind on religion, and on spirituality and all those things. And instead it became like, oh, these people are really well dressed.
I thought that you were going to say, which is a commentary in itself, right? But
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say that you wanted to start a new segment called Bible Study with Big.
I'm not that creative. Nope.
Thou
But you
shalt not
did.
commit.
Thou shalt not adulter.
Thou shalt not pay taxes because of loopholes for the wealthy and the 1%. We're getting somewhere.
Gosh darn it, tax season. Okay, and so then the other dislike I had was season 3, episode 17, Carrie and Natasha. So Carrie is just such a mess in that episode. I can see this is where history becomes unkind to Carrie. Her driving factor in trying to make up with Natasha is something she said super early in the episode. She couldn't stand the thought of someone in New York hating her that much. That is why she tried to apologize to Natasha. That is why she tried to clear her side of the street, was so that someone wasn't walking around in New York hating her.
Okay, so I think two things about that. One, it is sort of awful to think about someone hating you, and I
Sure.
do understand that motivation.
Sure.
That said, absolutely in that moment, maybe you needed to dig a little deeper, honey.
Mhm,
Is also true.
mhm.
So, yes, I think I don't even I wish I had written down what she wrote or what she said in the narration at the end because I did think it was like semi poignant. But like yeah, I think the angle was very strange. I also think like forcing your apology on someone.
You will listen to me. I will sit in front of you so that you hear me.
Even
Shut your
when she
mouth and listen.
called, although it does sound like maybe something I would try to do.
I know you don't want to hear this, but here it is.
Um, but like even when she called her office, I was like, ugh, the gall,
The
the gall and the
gall.
guile.
You're right. She did have something at the end of that episode.
Because it was about karma, wasn't it? Like they were looping. They like to do that, the full circle kind of
Yeah, they're
deal.
so good at that. I
They
will
are.
say that's like a huge one of my biggest admirations of the show is one, they pick a theme and they really stick to it with all the characters. And we talked about this in that episode where Charlotte rides the horse. No, sometimes it doesn't work out so well, but they really stick to the theme and take it all the way through.
Oh, never mind. That was not really good at the end. Okay, here's what's good said at the end. This is after she says, "You've ruined my marriage. Now you've ruined my lunch." And then she has her narration starts, and it says like, or Carrie says, "I realized my actions had set into motion a karmic chain of events that put Natasha back on the singles market, as if single women didn't have it hard enough. And somewhere out there, Big was alone again. The universe may not always play fair, but at least it's got a hell of a sense of humor," which does tell me she thinks knows that she was wrong on some level, but not enough.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and so the big deal out of all of this isn't that this woman's marriage failed, isn't that she got her heart broken, her tooth knocked out, but that she is out there on the dating market again.
Yeah.
That's the lesson.
This is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I thought I remembered it being deeper than that. Maybe I was being deeper.
I think I misheard because I also, when she said it, I was like, yeah, I think you're right. I also really loved Natasha sort of playing out this chain of events that had happened and narrating that for Carrie. Like
Yeah.
all these things you didn't even know. And that ripple effect of how like one person's bad action can just like chain reaction. Anyway,
Yep. It may be somewhere else in the episode, but I think it'll be a disservice for me to look for that while we're trying to have this conversation, so I won't do that.
Carrie saying
Um
something more
yeah, I
meaningful.
think it feels like it happened somewhere else in the episode, but and maybe I just had it oh, I definitely had it wrong on the end. Other dislikes for you?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, so I just had two. One is season 6, episode 12. One, Carrie makes a white slavery joke. I'm not trying to be a fuddy duddy. I'm just saying today that joke doesn't make it off the cutting room floor. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
it's just, it's like talking about reverse racism. Not good. Season 6, episode 14, The Ick Factor. Charlotte's commentary on Samantha considering breast implants. I think it's like pretty ungenerous. She says, "Samantha, you are a confident, intelligent woman. Why would you want to look like a bimbo?"
Oh,
What?
yeah. It seems very Charlotte, though.
But like you have breasts and so you don't have brains? Okay. That just doesn't seem fair. And that's coming from someone who's basically breastless. Anyways,
Oh, boy. You ready for some Cosmo connection?
I
Any
am.
special moments of friendship you want to highlight?
Oh gosh, I really think that all of the episodes in this entire batch had at least one. And it could be like, and one thing I like to think about as we're watching these is like not just like I know there is one that is like amazing in in this batch of episodes, and I'm talking about those life-changing kind of conversations, but they don't always look like that. Like sometimes you just have bad ideas together and you execute them, and that is a Cosmo connection. So,
Sometimes you just have
Miranda,
bad ideas and execute them together.
That's friendship, man. That's like it just described me from like age 14 to 20.
Okay.
And like maybe 22. Let me be honest. And so like Miranda and Carrie like being like, "Yeah, let's just go down and like look at them at church."
Not just look at them. Let's go into the church and participate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what could be better? Like it's just a dumb idea, you know? And that's what girlfriends do for each other sometimes.
Sure.
You're there. But also part of that friendship was she knew Carrie wasn't okay and she stuck around.
Yeah.
Because Miranda's a girl's girl. I know it. You know it. We all know it. But also, like, Miranda shows up after Carrie gets robbed. That's another time. Carrie was like upset and she was there. And you show up when crappy things happen.
Mhm.
That's friendship. But the ones that I really like loved in this string of episodes was the first one, and the first is in episode title 1 in season 6. This is when Carrie goes to sit with Charlotte after she loses the baby. I just want to say that this is huge. This is real. If you know, you know. When the partner calls you to come help,
Yeah.
you better get your keys.
Yeah.
Because men notice last sometimes. Not
Yeah.
always, but sometimes. And it depends on the partner. And by God, you better know enough about the partner to know what it means. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So there's that part of it, but also like just being smart enough to know in this situation that like whether they say, if they say they don't need you, they need you. You go anyway. You show up at that door because that's what friends do. And that like and it didn't play out that way in this way, but if she had said like she didn't want anybody there, which I think is what she told Harry,
Yeah.
but Harry knew better.
Yeah.
And so like whatever my point is, ladies, get in your car and go, because they don't know what they don't know at the time, but they need you. And that
Yeah.
goes for men too, in case that kind of level of friendship exists there. I'm not sure, so I don't know. I don't have a penis. Anyways,
In that same episode, real quick, I wanted
Yeah.
to say the other moment that I thought was really beautiful is when Harry shows up at Brady's birthday party and Miranda asks him how Charlotte's doing, and he basically says, not okay. And she says she'll be okay. She just has to feel it. And I thought that was a really lovely sentiment to people sometimes are just so uncomfortable with you feeling what you need to feel.
Yes.
Like they want to just fix it. And I love that. I think it's well intentioned, but it can also be a little bit selfish because you want to fix it because it's making you uncomfortable that this is happening and you're doing nothing. And
You're so
sometimes
astute.
it just has to happen. You just got to have the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny because my aunt sent me an article today and it was like psychologist who was talking about people don't just say they're fine to like because they don't mean it. They say it as a strategy.
Yeah.
And it's because we're raised in a world where like when you are honest about how you feel when you're younger, you're told to like suck it up, buttercup, or like that's not a big deal. And then other things happen and like eventually you're just like
I'm good.
fine. Because that's just easier. And you're right. There's two kinds of people who wind up responding: the solution makers and the ones who just go away, like they Homer Simpson it into the bushes when you tell them the truth because they don't want it. They can't handle it. They need you to be okay. The other ones need you to be okay. It's just that they have two different tacks for how to get there, and neither one of them really considers just being like, "I'm sorry, you're feeling that way." Like, and there should probably be more of that.
Yeah.
So. You're just so wise, Nikki. I mean it. I really do. You're a wise gal.
Thank you.
She's red now, y'all. I did have one more Cosmo connection, which was also. Sorry, this is in season 6 as well. But the ick factor, real life comes up. It comes fast. It comes hard. It's not always pleasant. And 2 moments in this one. The first is when Samantha tells Carrie about her cancer on the way to the wedding. She doesn't want to blurt it out. I think that's a very knowing thing to have done. Like, I know who I am. I know this is a flaw of mine. Let me let this out now. I thought the way they handled that in the car was a really beautiful moment. And then after the wedding, when everyone finds out, is like top tier moment for me.
That was beautiful.
Is it you too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
I don't think it gets better than this.
Yeah, like
So
again, Miranda is just like they're all trying to preserve her perfect day. And she's like, no, you will tell me what's going on because that's what we need to do right now. You're my
yeah.
people. She said, like, you're my people. Tell me now. And I was just like, it's beautiful.
Hmm. And I love that. And it was like, I don't know, if you have found family, and I think most of us do. I just think this is like one of those things that really hits on another level. And there is a certain kind of person, and I actually think this is where I really align with Miranda. Like when you are open with me and you tell me what's really going on in your life, and we have an authentic conversation, to me that is a relationship.
Hmm.
Full stop.
Yeah.
Not knowing is way worse for me,
Yeah.
because I don't ever want you to feel like you couldn't trust or be vulnerable with me. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what I have going on in my day. I would always prefer to stop for a person and
Yeah.
just let them be a person,
Yeah.
because something like that really, it just covers everything else.
Yeah. Agreed. There was one more thing that I was going to flag from season 4, episode 3. So this is when I think it's Samantha is with her girlfriend, and Carrie and the jazz guy are out, and they run
Mm-hmm.
into Big and the girl who does cocaine in the bathroom. I don't remember
Mm-hmm.
what her story is, but they all end up at this table together. And the girl goes to the bathroom, and then Carrie leaves to go to the bathroom, and Samantha basically asks Big what he's doing.
Yeah.
And she does like the big sister thing, or like the
Yeah.
older, like the older friend. And she basically just says, what are you doing? You're tearing this girl up over and over again. You're terrible for her. And one, I'm watching that just as a person thinking like, wow, it's very Samantha to do, to be that straightforward with a man, but also kind of unlike Samantha to be so vulnerable and to like really take up for, or to really say something so emotional. But it makes sense. Carrie's her bestie, and that's how
Yeah.
Samantha rolls. But then even the lady that she's been dating, that's like or that she's friends with. So at this point, they're friends. That's the turning point for that lady, because she sees how badass Samantha is. And I
Yeah.
just thought that was all around a lovely, wonderful moment of friendship.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one. Good job. Do we want to talk about famous guest stars that we may have missed along the way?
I hope you want to talk about that.
So I will just say that there's like a lot, and I'm gonna link to a longer list. I think it was like, yeah, 25. We won't be doing that. What I wanted to do is I pulled from that list the ones where I wasn't gonna have to be like, remember from that season of Mad Men? No, we're not gonna do that. Like I needed a name that I felt like you would recognize.
Okay.
So that's how I went. We'll see if any of them fall through and you're like, who? Then I messed up. So
Okay.
here we go.
Uh-oh.
Some of these you've already heard, but just real quickly, and then anybody who's listening that wants to like share ones that we may have missed, or just really cool like cameos, because like it's even like the guy from Euro Trip, like that I think is gonna
Blew my
be
mind.
that was Nikki's number one. I'll
Was it?
never be able to beat that with this
Mm-mm.
list, but here it goes. So Bradley Cooper in season 2, I've mentioned this before, but he is not Bradley Cooper at this time. He's a random guy that Carrie almost goes home with. And this is like an episode where she does like like she does a cover where they're like 30 under 30, or 30 like around 30 or, or under 40 or something. I don't remember, but they take a picture of her with no makeup on, and that's the one they use on the cover.
Mm.
And it is a very bad picture, and it's all over the city, and she's highly embarrassed, and like he factors into that somehow. So
Okay.
you can decide if you want to binge that one or not. Jennifer Coolidge in season 6, totally forgot about this, like clean slate, but she was hosting a purse party with terrible purses that she made, and she's very funny.
Love
So
that. That sounds just like her.
yes, it was all very Coolidge coded, if you will. John Bon Jovi in season 2, a brief romance of Carrie's. They meet in their therapist's waiting room, which leads to a big breakthrough for Carrie. There's a funny interaction that they have a realization about the reason that they're both in therapy, and it's
Mm.
why not probably the best choice for each other. But Bon Jovi, pretty to look at. Just gonna say it. Sarah Michelle Gellar in season 3. I also forgot about this. So
Wow.
there are 2 episodes that I really regret not putting on this list, but it really is not about like a friendship trajectory or anything like that. They're just really fun episodes, which is like post Aiden breakup and all the ladies go to LA. There's like Hugh
Oh.
Hefner, like, and he's in the episode, and there's a whole like awkward interaction with Samantha. I think you would enjoy these back to back episodes very much, but and it's a 2-parter. In the first part, that's where Sarah Michelle Gellar shows up. I'm almost sure. So she's playing a junior development executive, and her energy is on like a 17.
Oh.
So it's
That's
an
very
interesting
unlike Sarah Michelle Gellar.
it's an interesting performance. And then, but she's the one who wants to turn Carrie's column into a movie. That's like the reason they get them out to LA.
Okay.
In the second part of it, Matthew McConaughey shows up. He is playing himself. He's the one who wants to direct the movie, but he also wants to play big. And there's a really funny interaction between him and Carrie about like method acting. Let's put it that way. And then Andy Cohen shows up in season 6, and he has like brown hair. I've never seen Andy Cohen not Salt and Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember this episode. I know which one it is. I know the scene, and it's the first time I've ever recognized that he is the one putting shoes on Carrie. So he's like a shoe salesman. So those are my casting ones for you. There you go, famous guest stars.
Oh, I then will add Ann Mira, who played Steve's mom.
Oh,
She's was married to Jerry Stiller. She just died. He just died recently. She died a few years ago. But she's Ben Stiller's mom.
Yep.
I love her. She's also in King of Queens.
Yes, that would make sense.
So I've spent many a moons with her on that show.
Yeah, she's really good in that role too.
As Steve's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some sweeter episodes too that you'll see it in the season finale. It gets really good. Oh, God, it's good. I can't wait.
So good.
Was there anything else that you caught that you wanted to talk about in that section?
No, thank you.
So polite. Are you from the South?
Quite good. Thank you.
So we're going to move on then to what we're going to call the cosmopolitan send-off, or our final metaphorical sips of Sex in the City. And, what I want to note here is how many episodes we've watched. We have watched 37 of the 94 episodes.
Oh, wow.
So a little bit more than a third. But I mention that because we've also not watched the finale. I just think all of this is important as we step into this next section that's basically like, what moment stuck with you? What I'm trying to say is, it's a little half-baked since you haven't watched the full series, but I did keep mine to only things that we've watched.
Oh, thank you.
To be fair to you. So with that in mind, are there any moments or lines that stuck with you, Nikki, that you want to talk about?
I picked one for each character. So,
that was smart.
We'll see. We'll see if you agree. And also, it might feel a little repetitive because we've talked about these things as we've gone through. But for Samantha in season 3, episode 10, I come back to when Carrie admitted the affair with Big, and she asked Sam, "Don't you want to judge me just a little bit?" And Sam says, "Not my style." I feel like that encapsulates Samantha as a person. She's not judgmental. She doesn't have to try. She just sees people for who they are, the situation they're in. They either like track with her world or they don't, but it doesn't really matter to her because she's just going through life either way. So do what you need to do. It takes all kinds. But also as a friend, she is the one friend people can bring their stuff to, and she's not going to judge them. And that really stuck with me a lot about her character.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was season 3. So this is for Charlotte, season 3, episode 12, at her wedding. Again, just when Carrie offers to take Charlotte away. So this one's for Carrie, actually, when she offers to take Charlotte away from the wedding and just like, we'll hold her hand through the whole thing. We'll just tell all these people, get over it. I thought that was really beautiful. Carrie sometimes can be not the most sensitive friend. She has a little bit of a pattern of telling people, "I don't have time for this conversation right now. You're ruining my evening and yours." But she is a good friend to these four women, and I thought that was a really beautiful moment. My motherboard myself gave me my Miranda moment. So it was the
Mm.
scene where she was in the dressing room after her mom's passed away. She's looking for a bra. Lucille comes in to help her, and she says, "I think," and Miranda says, "I think I know what's best for me." And then Carrie cuts in and says, "Suddenly Miranda realized she'd never have a fight with her mother again." And so then it goes back to Miranda saying, "I'm sorry, it's not you. My mother just died." And then Lucille says, "Come here." And you hear Miranda saying, "No, I'm fine. And Lucille is hugging her, and Carrie cuts back in and says, "And there, behind the curtain, when no one was looking, Miranda found a kind of support that actually fit her." Miranda just puts these walls up over and over again. She doesn't know how to let someone support her. We see her friends supporting her, but it was a beautiful reflection of what it's like post losing your mom. And when you feel like you're just trying really hard to hold it all together. And sometimes the most unlikely person is the one that has to help you push through it.
Yeah, if I can just tag in for a second, because I think this is, it just feels, I don't want to like say it later because then it won't make any sense, but it's like women are so beautiful and sometimes they just know.
Yeah.
And I can't, like, even in recent weeks, I've had a few times where people I know, but I don't know that well, have just like stepped in almost like they feel like guardian angels. And they're just there at that moment when I really needed somebody because I was feeling low or like just like alone, you know? And it's like the universe sends them in, but I'm just telling you, like, most of the time it's a woman, like, you know?
Yeah.
And they know exactly what to say. They know exactly when to go in for a hug. They know when touch is okay. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's really gorgeous. And I think that that was something that was so beautiful about that moment
Yeah.
because it was a complete stranger. So there was the mother piece. So she is like a stand-in mother, but it was just like a woman knowing when.
Absolutely.
Very
Absolutely.
cool.
I totally agree. I totally agree. I'm glad you said that. The last one was season 6, episode 12. This is my Charlotte moment. And this is one, and this is that look on her face when Carrie comes to her house after the miscarriage. That just will sit with me for a long
Mm-hmm.
time because you don't often get to see grief play out. I feel like I don't get to see grief play out in a way that feels real to me. Um, it's probably just because it has to be the perfect storm. It has to be a character you relate with. It has to be a storyline you relate with. It has to be something that in some way resonates with you. And that experience she's had felt personal to me, and it felt like something that exists for so many women, so many of our friends and our sisters and our family members. And it exists outside of miscarriage. It's just the loss of something. And like I said, I looked at her face and I could feel the pit in her stomach, just the vast emptiness that exists after a huge loss. And it took 32 seconds for me to have my defining moment for Charlotte in the series. And that was it.
That's why I wanted you to watch that episode. I also just want to say juxtaposed with the Miranda episode
Mm-hmm.
because it's, you know, you said it's like a certain kind of grief
Mm-hmm.
because one, I'm like, if I may, is like you're grieving what you've always known.
Mm-hmm.
And what Charlotte is grieving is what she'll never know,
She'll never know. Exactly.
what can never be.
Yeah.
Now, and again, children will come along for her, and children come along for many women, but you're having to say goodbye to that baby
Mm-hmm.
in that
Yeah.
particular because you're not going to get the same one.
Yeah.
It will be a different one.
Yeah.
And I think that is a whole like so just thinking about those two episodes side by side is actually quite special. And it's like two different moments of grief but also two different potentially different stages of a person's life, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to take away the fact that like you know that was also a grieving moment for Harry, but
Oh,
Harry
yeah.
wasn't holding that baby in his body.
Yeah.
And it's different.
It is different.
Both are important,
Mm-hmm.
but different. So I liked all of those because first of all, they were either all friendship moments or just like these moments that, even though they were character by character, or like with the one with Miranda, it is like women supporting women.
Mhm.
I think we're big into that. I don't know if we've
Big
underscored that
fan.
enough. Yeah. We like that. For me, I think this is really, ours are very nice compliments because when I think about the heartbeat of this show, even though they sometimes miss the mark, it is the women. These are their stories, their friendship. It's their laughter and their tears and their losses and their triumphs that have always brought me back. The men of Sex in the City are sometimes great, sometimes hilarious, sometimes sweet, but they are always the compliment. They are the window decoration.
Mhm.
The women are the main event. So, with that in mind, these are my favorite moments, or at least the ones that stick with me when I think back to the trajectory of what you and I have done here together. Season 4, episode 1, The Agony and the Ecstasy. This is Charlotte's suggestion after Carrie's teetotal disastrous 35th birthday. And this is, of course, where she says, "Don't laugh at me, but maybe we could just be each other's soulmates.
Mm.
And then we could let men be just these great, nice guys to have fun with." Again, that line on the page is very flat.
Mhm.
When someone like Kristen Davis, who is very talented, she brings it to life in a way that is very beautiful. And it comes on the back end of a very raw, vulnerable Carrie who is worried about not having a soulmate. Like she's worried about being alone. She's worried about aging. And I think Charlotte comes in and swoops in with a really, really important reminder not to undercut the fact that Carrie's going through something. She is going through something, but she's not going through it alone.
Mm.
She doesn't have to.
Mhm.
If she did, that would be a choice.
Mhm.
Season 4, episode 8, My Motherboard Myself. Um, different scenario, but same episode as that you picked out as well. Carrie jumping out of the line to walk Miranda down the aisle at her mom's funeral. Samantha finally accessing her feelings and mouthing "I'm sorry" to Miranda from across the way, and then Charlotte's big old bouquet of flowers for some comedic relief. Just all of those things together, where it was like nice character defining moments and something about friendship all rolled into one. Season 4, episode 11, Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda. Miranda following Charlotte down the street after she found out that she probably couldn't have kids. This, of course, is happening on the back end of knowing that Miranda has gotten pregnant and is considering an abortion. So it is a heavy episode.
Mhm.
Season 6, episode 14, The Ick Factor. We literally just talked about this one, so I won't go back through it, but the displays of friendship in that one are just absolutely crisp, amazing, and I think very true to life. Nikki Mays.
Yes.
Now that we have gotten this far, you have seen 37 episodes, I think, except for I am a miscounter. So who knows? It's probably somewhere between 30 and 40 episodes.
It's probably less than 90 something, which was the total number of episodes. We can feel safe saying that.
Probably less than that. With that in mind, what are your lingering questions?
My gosh, this is such a big like responsibility, and like I feel like I owe it to you to have something really like substantive,
You
but
owe
I
me nothing.
got nothing. I
Really?
got nothing because you did such a good job of helping me sort of navigate through some of the things that I was wondering along the way. I mean, obviously, I wonder how it's all going to wrap up in this series finale, but like, I mean, I can't ask you anything about that because I just have to watch it. So
Right.
I think I'm good.
So you couldn't help but wonder.
I couldn't help but wonder.
Why did Salina think I was going to have any lingering questions?
What am I
She's
not?
so good.
What am I not asking you that I should be asking?
I didn't know if I assumed, but maybe I should not assume that you look back at our emoji questions and made sure that everything was sewn up there. But
Oh yeah,
I'm like
could have done that.
revisiting some of those in my head, and I think we've answered all of them. That said, we may at some point want to revisit what my answers meant in emojis if I ever remember them. Um, I don't know. That was like 6 weeks ago, so
I know.
longer than that.
Do you feel like you could remember that?
I know I had an eggplant in there somewhere and laughed a lot. I don't know how that goes now. I do know that you had some questions about Carrie's wealth, and do you feel like that's been answered?
No. Well,
But you don't care.
no and yes. I think the answer is it's not meant to make sense. That's not the point. And I
Okay.
say that based on Darren Starr's comments about Emily in Paris. And like, I just wanted to write a story about an American in Paris. I don't really care about that. So my sense
Right.
is that piece of things was sort of irrelevant. We also have read the book at this point, and there's some financial stuff that I think we'll speak about there in the book. And it doesn't, none of it tracks.
Well, I was going to say the one thing though that I think this factored into my emojis is she does publish a book that does pretty well. So, and then like not in the series, but I think between the series and the movie, she actually publishes several books. And so I think that she is in a different financial state from those things.
So, revisiting your emojis
Yeah, I did
from
read.
so the prompt for people who can't remember. The prompt was I had some questions about Sex in the City as a newbie, and I put it forward to Salina and I asked her to answer them with only emojis. And so my first question was, what's the deal with Big? Like, how did Carrie meet him? Why is she so hung up on him? And I got eggplant, heart on fire, heart with bandage, pink heart, and shooting star.
I do remember. So it's like the eggplant is because they slept together really quickly. And so I think there was just like this animal magnetism between them. There
Okay.
always was. That always remained. The heart on fire is like this burning toxicity that she had for him. Like then there's a lot of hurt.
Mm-hmm.
The pink heart was more of this idea of like finally they get to a good place. And when they do, it's magic.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know. You've not seen the series finale.
Haven't seen the series finale.
And you know, but you've seen the movie, so you know they were together in the movie.
Yes.
So there's that.
Then we get who is Aiden, because I didn't know about Aiden. And so my emoji list that I got from Salina was a laugh cry, like a handyman of some sort. He's holding a tool, wood, a house, and a sleeping emoji.
Okay. So I laughed because you said, who is Aiden?
And now that I've seen it, I see why that's funny.
Yeah.
He's like
And then
central,
big character, right?
big,
Pun.
huge.
Yes. The handyman is like, he makes the furniture, he's redoing that. Like he is like this handy guy that's in her life. Like, and I don't think those choices about what he does and like the things that he did in his spare time, they seemed intentional to
Yeah.
me. He's like a fixer.
A fixer.
The chopping of the wood in the cabin was like he's a country boy at heart. Like so that's like opposite of Carrie. I didn't put in too many emojis because I didn't want to go too crazy. But then the sleepy one is she's bored with him.
Oh. Is Charlotte annoying, or is that my recollection? And I got a hurt looking face, or like a mer face, two women dancing, not quite an eye roll, a smile, strong muscle, and then that not quite an eye roll face again.
Yeah, a little spotty on this one, but I do remember some of them, which is like is Charlotte like is she annoying? That first one is like it's hard to answer. Like, oh God, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, but like she is a girl's girl.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, that's the two girls together. Then like the face is kind of like she does some annoying stuff, even though she's a girl's girl. Then it's like yay, because there's some things where you're like, yeah, she's the best. And then the strength, like she shows some strength across the entire series. And then there are just other points where you just can't help but be like, oh, damn it, Charlotte.
I almost liked you.
Sometimes.
Just kidding.
Sometimes she's just tough. So.
And then the kind of part B to that question is, incidentally, is that also who I am? And then we've got sort of like a no emoji, a shaking head emoji, and then some cool glasses emoji, which I assume means you're so cool.
It means no, absolutely not. You're too cool to be Charlotte.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Do we finally find out Carrie is a millionaire with old money or something that supports her shoe and designer dress habit? So we get a cleaning face, a dot, dot,
Is
dot,
that what you think that is?
money bags, and then a ticking clock.
I think that's a disappearing face.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
This is where I'm turning into Samantha and I need my reading glasses. Okay. It looks like
So
a
it's like-
soapy face. I thought she was washing her face. Money laundering is what I thought was happening.
She's an influencer. She's doing a get ready with me video. Yeah, so that's me saying, "Oh God, I don't want to answer this. Like I'm disappearing."
Okay.
And then it's like dot 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 because it's hard to answer.
Mhm.
But dot 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 money and then the clock and it's like the money will come later.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
why emojis are only so helpful. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad I'm glad you, one, reminded me of that, and two, that we got to revisit it, because I was piecing it together as we went through the series, different
Right.
parts of it. The Aiden thing and the handyman thing, I had to ask you about it. But when I went to post it on social media, one of the emojis wasn't showing up, so I had to ask you about it. So that one
So I
I
had to
kind
make
of it.
had
put pieces together.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to make that one. Yeah, no, I remembered real time that we had done that. So
Good.
that wasn't a plan.
Good,
But I'm
good.
glad we did revisit it
Yeah.
because we did take the time to do it. Might as well. Why not? You know?
Why not? You know what?
Do you have a favorite character after all of this? That's I think is a really good jump into superlatives.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. No, it
Uh,
was okay, by the way.
I think I do, though. Gosh, I love little pieces of all of them. Let me say that. I'm going to weenie out and say I love little pieces of all of them. I think that the character who I found myself sort of coming back to a couple of times throughout all of these episodes was Miranda. She's got her character has so much potential from the beginning in terms of this journey that she has to go on, and she has the most rewarding payoff in terms of finally getting her happy ending with Steve, her version of a happy ending, which is the other part that I love. She didn't compromise with her wedding and do the thing that everybody expects you to do, which I think is wonderful for Miranda. She had a baby not in the order that everybody expects you to do. And she just kind of does all these things on her own terms, which is a very Miranda thing to do. So I kept coming back to her as a character that I feel like is, there's some payoff there. She's very satisfying as a character. But also I didn't really have too many moments where I was frustrated by her or annoyed by her.
She's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is. That's the way that cookie crumbles.
But
You
I
didn't
remember
even see the episode where she eats the brownie out of the trash can.
I did see that.
Did you?
I did. It was hold please. It was in this last batch.
Was it? Are you thinking about the I love you cookie?
No. Give me just a second. I think it's what goes around comes around when she's dating the police officer.
That's right.
And she finally is just that's the one where she calls Carrie and she's like, I'm screwing up my whole life. Was it that one? No.
I well, something. She goes for the chocolate cake, fancy chocolate cake
Yes.
or something.
Yes.
Maybe she like winds up. It leads to that, I think. But I like maybe in a following episode or something.
Maybe it was a following episode.
Because she pours soap on top of it after she
Yes.
catches herself eating brownie out of the trash can. And I just got to tell you, that's where my Miranda energy is like peak.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like brownies, you know?
You know, it's funny because I remember people playing the game of like, which Sex and the City character are you? And I remember nobody wanted to be Miranda. Like,
That's the joke of it.
yeah.
No one wants to, but we're all like probably the most like Miranda. I was literally just talking with a friend about that last night.
Especially as you mature, and like she really does make that full circle. Like Samantha stays who Samantha is to her core, like doesn't want to get married. Like it's with Smith, I think she gets close. I know I have things that I need to see and I don't fully see her whole arc, but I just don't feel like she changes all that much. You kind of always know what you're going to get with her. Carrie goes through it for sure and experiences it, but like it's not this super satisfying arc of like, oh, she really learned a lesson and moved on. And then Charlotte has a little bit of that redemptive arc where she ends up with Harry, but Miranda's is just really satisfying.
Yeah. Well, especially like she did all the things that she was like not really sure was ever going to happen for her.
Yeah.
And like you said, everything was like whatever people's order is of things, whatever that means. And she was like, nah.
Yeah.
And there is a satisfaction in that for sure. Are you ready to revisit these superlatives?
Yes.
Okay, so best episode right now, what is it for you?
I have two.
Oh.
Is that allowed?
Whatever.
I'm torn between season 4, episode 11, Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda.
Okay.
And season 3, episode 10, All or Nothing. So Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda is the one where Miranda's pregnant, considers an abortion. You mentioned this a little while ago. Charlotte takes the news very badly. I thought it was a pretty mature look at the concept of abortion. We got to see Miranda considering it kind of from all sides while her friends are simultaneously sharing their various stories and personal experiences with abortion, which I think was a progressive concept at this time and also just like a very deeply female experience. Then, of course, Charlotte's storyline was really relatable. While she was not the best friend in terms of accepting Miranda's situation, she was also really going through it. And sometimes when you're really going through it, it's really hard to be the best friend. And then there's that beautiful scene you mentioned where Miranda follows her home. So all of those things, that episode just really hit me. And then in All or Nothing, there were two things I really loved. Charlotte's momentous negotiation with Bunny, delightful. Also, Samantha's existential crisis while she was fighting the flu. I felt so bad for her when she's at again, I watched this episode while I had the flu and I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm watching her go through this where she's like, all of these life choices I've made that have led to me being alone in my apartment trying to fight the flu. And I just couldn't help but ache for her.
Or like how little bit of a break there is between all nothing.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Because just the night before, she was screaming out the window, we have everything we could ever need. We have the first version of Postmates before it exists.
Oh, yeah. I had that thought. So I'm torn between those two episodes. That's it.
Okay.
You're good.
So it's funny because, and this is, I think my perspective, of course, not I think, it's definitely going to be different than yours, right? I've watched all these episodes multiple times. And I sort of approach life like this. Like I have my eternal favorite on a thing, and then I have my favorite right now.
Right.
And so, like, that's how I am with movies. I got the one that's always going to sit up here, and then, like, but I may not want to watch it today. Today, I want to watch this.
Right.
So if I was going to talk about my forever favorite episode, which isn't really, it's not really even this category, but it's always going to be the finale to season 2 with the Your Girl is Lovely Hubble and, you know, I'm putting the whatever on Big. I got curly hair. I'm a crazy girl and I need a crazy boy. You know, that's always going to work for me. You know, it's always going to see 19-year-old Salina for me. Best episode right now and what we've done, talk about recency bias, but for me, it's going to be the ick factor in season 6. It's got the laughs. It's got the tears. Miranda's getting married in the only hilariously singular way that a Miranda could. It's pretty fabulous. You know, we get all the touch points about Samantha and the beautiful friendship notes and all of that. So that's mine for now. Worst episode?
Definitely either season 1, episode 10, The Baby Shower, or season 6, episode 12, A Woman's Right to Shoes. I think unsurprisingly, the ones that take a really white and black view of people who become parents are tough watches for me. It is just, again, surprisingly one-dimensional for a show that was otherwise really progressive and tried to sort of show these alternative perspectives.
I've really enjoyed looking at that content, and I don't mean like enjoy may not be the right word. I think it's been very profound to return to this show at this age, be thinking about it in a different way. And I can't tell you how, like, so many times the phrase, what an ungenerous read, has come into my mind. And it's like showing up a lot in life for me right now,
Yeah.
aside from the podcast.
Yeah.
And how I'm thinking a lot about how in society we are giving a lot of ungenerous reads. We are not being empathetic. It is weaving into our culture right now. We are a lot of us versus them. We will never win with that mentality. And I think the 2 episodes that you mentioned are doing that as well with parenting. Again, not a parent, don't want to be a parent, don't want children. That's just not my journey. But I am so happy for that to be your journey and the journey of people that I love. And the only thing I've ever wanted to do is not come across as like someone who couldn't understand. Like, and I know I'll never truly understand, but I could give it the old college try. The same way that I know that you give it the old college try to meet me where I am.
Yeah.
And so we can say it's as simple as an ungenerous read of parenting, but it's really a life lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we would just like be kind and try and be a little like more loving in our daily lives, we may not be in a war. I don't know. We may not be in the current state of this country. I don't know. I don't know. There's so much. Maybe we could give women a shot to run the world. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Anyways,
God.
my worst episode. I got a few too, actually.
Okay.
Well, I got a few episodes I don't love in general, but I want to keep it tight. So never mind. I'm sorry. I did go ahead and just pick one. I went with season 1, episode 12. Oh, come all you faithful. I stand by it for our What Have We Missed batch, because I think it offers color and context to the Carrie and Big relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But the side plots are kind of silly and it's not a rewatchable for me. And I never want to see another plot line about somebody not being able to use the bathroom in front of someone else.
You know, and that's another thing I will say about the baby shower, just like on a super superficial level. It's just so 90s to me and just not rewatchable. Like it just felt super dated. It felt like even down to like the baby gear that they were talking about. Some of it just felt not current. I don't want to rewatch it. Even if there was some silliness in it. There was definitely some funny that happened in it. Just wasn't rewatchable.
Yeah, that's understandable for sure. What about, well, I guess we could, I don't know, it could be Miss or Mr. Congeniality or just congeniality person.
I don't know how to answer this question. Help me.
Okay. Well, the best way I know to do is to give you my answer, and then we'll see if that sparks anything for you. So my answer is, come on, it's Charlotte. She's the most prim and proper of all. She knows where to get the Cadillac of baby baskets. Speaking of your least favorite episode, she knows all the proper etiquette for all of the events and all of the things. And I'm pretty sure that the batch of episodes that we saw for her, maybe it was, I don't remember, but she's also like the Emily Post of sextiquette.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know was a thing. That whole thing about the napkin and keep a Kleenex by the bed, like she's got it all.
That's true. That's very
also,
true.
I don't know if anybody has ever used the term sextiquette before, and if they haven't, I would like to coin that.
Yes. Do you want me to bleep it out in the episode so nobody can steal it from you till you can copyright it?
As I have told you from the beginning of this adventure together, you are welcome to bleep me whenever you would like.
Okay.
And I
Fair
think
point.
you should bleep that because
Fair
I think
point.
that would be hilarious.
Fair point. You're welcome to beep me whenever you want.
And I would just laugh so hard every time I heard it. Yeah. So did that help or?
Yeah. I mean, from a like super.
Charlotte, great. Wonderful.
I think she even said, like when she was running through Central Park on her run after she found out that the pregnancy didn't take with Harry. In the episode where she gets the dog, I think the narration says that she might have even been most liked in high school or something. She won some sort of award. I will say Stanford Blatch might have a little bit to run in this category, because all the episodes that he was in, he is a very likable character, and he flies under the radar for this batch of episodes that we've watched, but when he shows up, he is very likable, and he is a good friend to Carrie. He's not part of the core four, but he is a really good friend to her and shows up for her in a lot of circumstances.
I like that. That's good. Bringing some balance to it. Charlotte can't win everything.
She can't win everything. Certainly.
All right.
No, never mind. Never mind.
Okay. I'll pick your brain off air. Best dressed.
I mean, we talked about this one recently. For me, it's Charlotte. Like, you pointed out the Audrey Hepburn style outfit and one in your fashion segment. I realized after the fact it's probably Elizabeth Taylor inspired also.
Oh, it is.
Very like what's the word, period dressing, but it's gorgeous, and like, it doesn't look old on her. It looks stylish and beautiful. All of her accessories, I mentioned the Van Cleef bracelet, her hair is always beautiful. Just big fan, best dressed.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's because Charlotte probably favors more of an Audrey Hepburn type than a Liz Taylor
She
type.
does.
But God, that look is absolutely stunning. No doubt about it.
And like, she just pulls that crap off after getting off her couch after a miscarriage. Like, how unfair is life? She looks beautiful.
She's a gorgeous lady. For me, I have to stand by Carrie. She does things with her outfits that like I would never think of. They don't all work for me. But even when I don't like them, I admire the bold take on something. I admire the daring. I admire the risk taking. So, and honestly, there's some things that she's done where she's just taken the most questionable things and made them look good. Part of it is her figure. There's no doubt about that. Okay. But there's the one outfit. She's got the crop top. It's like long sleeve with a collar, and then she wears a belt and it's just around her middle.
Oh my God. I was just thinking about that as like an absolutely awful look.
See, and I love it. I think it's great.
I was like, what is happening? I think that's what the definition of fashion and style, that's it, right? Like, it's all so personal. And
Totally.
the fact that she, like you said, the bravery to do some of those things, no one else would have worn that. I admire
like a belt is to hold pants up.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's holding nothing up.
Yep.
That said, like, and it's true. Like, I would assume that you hate that outfit.
Awful. Just absolutely awful.
And like, I've been very clear. Like, I do like bold things, but there are a number of outfits on this entire series that do nothing for me. And I just and I don't think it works at all. But overall, there are so many moments and so many outfits that like I would just wear the crap out of them, and it's always Carrie.
Yeah.
So how about funniest?
Moanda is always so funny. Her cynicism is super delightful to me. Some of my favorite lines were, I dropped the ball when they were in that doctor's office for Steve. The man, the myth, the Viagra. She says, I swear if you Pollyanna out on me today, I'm going to have to hit you in the face with rice pudding. She also says, you ditched me for a piece of politically incorrect meat. Sexy is what I try to be after I win men over with my personality. And then you pointed out she's the one eating cake out of the trash can. Like,
hero.
She's amazing. She's hilarious.
She's a hero. How smart that you actually pulled examples. It would be funny to go back and see.
There's
like,
a first
how
for
many,
everything.
It'd be funny to see how many quotes like actually belong, like that I've selected along the way, and whoever had the most is probably who I actually think is the funniest.
Yeah.
I didn't do that until right now.
No, I wouldn't agree with that, because I think sometimes it's a
outrageous quote.
It's an outrageous quote, or just a matter of what you happen to jot down real quick when you're thinking about it. At least for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, is Nikki giving you the sauce. The real caramel. I picked Samantha. So, I mean, I just think she gets some of the best like one-liners. I said that the first time. I stick by it. She also just like winds up in the strangest scenarios,
Yes.
and she is like many times the obvious default comedic relief. I do believe that Miranda is the more sophisticated humor for sure. She has got to be the most sophisticated humor, and she wins hands down in that. But there's something about the outrageousness of Samantha, and just knowing what and just like that was like without her. That just it is like Sophia not being on Golden Girls.
That makes sense.
Any spontaneous category ads that you have?
I really wanted to, but I got nothing.
I did. Me too. It's like I don't know. I don't know if I mentioned that we were squealing in on two wheels and watching these shows from the car.
On two wheels.
I'm like watching it right now.
Hence the two wheels.
Yeah. I'm on the final episode. One more time. I thought we'd go back quickly. And if there's anything that we feel like at the end of this, we did it after the very first batch of episodes, our introduction to Sex and the City with ChatGPT. Is there anything we want to say about like how well it did on the episode selection now that we've seen 37 episodes, or rather 32 to 42 episodes?
It's a window. Standard deviation, if you will. So it's tough for me. I don't know what I don't know. So
that's true.
Don't
what an
have
unfair question for you.
I don't have a good sense for what I was missing. What I do know is that I feel like I got a good cross section of the characters. I got a good mix of comedy and drama. We definitely touched on the high points of the character arcs. I feel like I was following a journey through the seasons. I think what I might recommend doing as we're thinking about future approaches for both the podcast and how we approach other shows is maybe more of going back to more of that season by season approach. Yeah. So, maybe we do the major arcs by season for each episode rather than a character per episode. It really depends on the show. This one was very different than Golden Girls because it was very plot driven rather than a sitcom that's maybe a bit more character based. So, it might make sense to kind of follow the major arcs and really sit with it longer. I probably would have liked to have luxuriated with this show a little bit longer. Not quite Designing Women level.
Women length.
But yeah, just sit with
5 years.
Let it breathe a little bit more maybe. But I think the episodes that were chosen were, if we do it this way, that was a really good way to cover all that ground as quickly as we did.
Okay. I think
the Supreme Overlords, I hope you hear me, that I think you did a fantastic job.
I love what you're doing. I love everything.
Keep on keeping on.
Right. I've been happy with it on the whole. If we were scaling it 1 to 5, I'd probably give it like a 3.8. It's not really its fault that the order was likely more and more flummoxing for you, Nikki, as we went on. You know, that's something it can't really account for.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had said, and she's not going to watch every episode, let me be clear.
Yeah.
I think I told you in the beginning that I said, give me how can I give her a flavor for someone who's never seen it before? And it was like, here's 12 episodes. And I said, do it less. How can I tell her what this show's about in 5 episodes? And it was like, okay. And it shot me back a middle finger in 5 episodes.
And then meanwhile, I'm over here and I'm like, if we could have just done more episodes, that would have been great.
Life is
women,
like Goldilocks.
Women. You just never, they don't know what they want.
They don't know what they want. Stuff. Were women's stories actually the point? If you want to scale it and rate it, you can, but you don't have to. And then also, over the course of these episodes, did you feel like there was a strong emotional arc?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, women's stories were totally the point, especially after I learned that, I learned more about writer Cindy Chupak and really building so much of that on her own experiences. And that wasn't unique to her. I think the other writers have said similar things. So yeah, absolutely. The point was to tell these women's stories, and the strong emotional arc. It's that life is hard and that you need people to help you through it. And that for women, that can be a male partner or it can be female friendships. And We all need our community, whatever that looks like. We all need our family, whatever that looks like. And New York City is like considered to be the harshest of the harsh environments and kind of ecosystems. And this is how these particular women survived that. So sure.
Okay, well, good. Because I just want to revisit like what we said in the beginning, which was more like, sure,
Sure.
because it was very big driven in those first 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we were able to reach some of the stuff that really gave you an idea. And so for me, when I think about this exercise as a whole, from that vantage point, I feel like it was successful. Was friendship the love story? I think you've already answered that, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to say anything else that you wanted to say there.
I see that read of this show. Yes. There was a lot of romance sprinkled in for sure. I never really got the sense as we watched more episodes that marriage was endgame for anyone except Charlotte. It's
Right.
interesting because the show and also the book are sort of this, they start out as this look at what is the state of like love and relationships in New York City. And, supposed to be this examination of it. But as this show carries on, it really becomes clear that the friendships are so much of the story. Romance and romantic partners are certainly an important part of the experience, but the show also touches on careers, finances, friendships, societal pressures. So I think all of those things exist in this universe, but sure, yeah, friendship is so much of it.
Yeah, I almost want to reserve this one for after we see the finale, but for me, I do think that, they wind up being of equal weight with the relationships. I think we're in friendship struggle zone as much as we're in romance. I
Mm-hmm.
think, I think like, and I think that that's probably reality. You know what I'm saying? I feel like life comes at you and it's like all these different pieces. And a lot of it is us seeing how the friendships carry them through those different pieces. But like what I do think is special and not always the case is the core four here don't let relationships stop them from seeing one another.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
That is not something I've always seen even among my friends, you know?
I think we're suspending some facts of reality to make that happen sometimes.
Very possible.
After Miranda had her baby, there were a couple episodes where I was like, where's the baby?
How? Right.
Where's the baby? Like, and that's not like a
Steve.
so I was going to say, that's not like me discounting Steve's relationship and responsibility. It just sometimes doesn't feel super possible to step away.
Yeah. And I think like honestly too, we're talking about like Miranda was a parent. The rest of them weren't.
Yeah.
My non-parent friends, we ain't got a lot of trouble getting together.
Yeah.
I mean, we do, but not as much as people who have children because it is a different weight. It is a different responsibility. It is a different juggling than we have. And most of my friends who either have kids at a certain age or they don't have kids, and right now we're the ones that are having a little bit of an easier time regularly getting together. And I still think you have to hold your feet to the fire and hold each other accountable because it is very difficult for life to just take over and suddenly you're just a to-do list and spreadsheets and all of that. So like it does have to be something that and this is a show, but it chose to show the women continuing to prioritize each other on the whole.
Yeah.
And I do think that's singular. The moment has come.
We're here.
We're almost to the close, but before we do, let's do one final check-in with each other. Actually, I'm just going to leave it broad. Maybe one of us, Steve. Which character are we? Like,
Smith.
I would love for you to say that. I think it's amazing.
I think it's officially official. I'm a Miranda with a smidge of Charlotte.
Okay.
I'm a type Miranda with a Charlotte wing. Miranda's general sarcasm about life appealed to me on a lot of levels. She really copes with really difficult situations with humor, which I feel like appeals to me. I get that. I also identify with her practicality, just making decisions that makes sense. Laying around in sweats and t-shirts versus sexy PJs or bras and boy shorts. I think I even identified with her bravery to become a mom without necessarily knowing Steve was going to play that role. Like, I think even my younger self would have made that choice and had that same level of maybe like not so much bravery, but just stubbornness. Like, I'm going to do this because I have to do this. I feel like I would have done that. And then obviously I'm also super traditional. I can't help it. So a lot of Charlotte's take on societal expectations and the way she approached life, the choices she made, like, I can't deny that have experienced a lot of that. And I still, even in my enlightened 40-year-old self, I still feel that sometimes. And I don't even think it's that bad. One of my favorite quotes was from Bunny in the episode where Charlotte makes out with the gardener. And she says, tradition is a very undervalued virtue. I think that's true. So I identify with that piece of Charlotte.
Okay. I
What
like
about
that.
you,
I don't think you're gonna like my answer.
Carrie?
No, I no.
Samantha.
Yes,
Big.
definitely Samantha. Uh, absolutely. I'm feeling the most like Bunny.
Are you going to have a non-answer, or are you going to say Steve?
I try like okay. The truth is, and I would actually say this for you too. Although I agree with everything that you say, so I am gonna go ahead and say that like, I think all that's accurate, but I do think you have like the insight of a Carrie, like the ability to have like this wisdom when you're looking at a situation, and particularly like where she is the wisest is when she's looking at other situations, right? Because that's
Yeah.
where we shine.
Yeah.
It's easier to look at other people than ourselves. What did we just say in this episode or some episode? I wish you could see yourself the way that I see you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that you do have a beautiful ability to look at things, and you see things that other people can't see, and you have a very unique perspective. And I think that's true of Carrie. I'm not sure that I'm not sure that you have a lot of Samantha energy.
No.
But I think that's okay.
Okay.
So I kind of looked at it as like I can see pieces of all of them falling into my personality.
Mhm.
I think I can have the mouth of Samantha.
Mhm.
I do mean the profanity. I want to be very clear. Carrie's love of fashion.
Hold
but
on.
like,
I was going to say for Samantha, she has always the good zinger one-liners and the puns. She's very good with a pun too. So I was nodding my head with you, but not because of the profanity, just because like the cleverness, the quick cleverness you have.
oh, that's nice. Thank you so much. I'll take that. So Carrie's love of fashion, but like not the follow through. And I also like to express myself through writing. Writing is very important to me. I have some uptight traits of Charlotte, but dare I say, her planning skills. I have a little bit of that in me.
You would 100% know the right baby basket to bring. If baby baskets were a thing, you would know the right one to bring. You would have done the legwork to figure it out.
Yeah, not and you know it's interesting because like 19-year-old Salina would definitely not know, but
That's so
this
fascinating.
age, I would definitely like at least like Google.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would get there.
Right.
And then of course I do believe that I'm pragmatic like Miranda, and can teeter into the negative if not careful. So I cheated because I didn't pick one, but I just don't know that I fully feel like all of one character. If you force my feet to the fire, I would say I'm the most like Miranda.
Yeah, I think if you could look at me and say that you identified with only one of these women, I might be a little worried about you because
think
that
that's
would be
fair.
super one-dimensional. And I don't think you're a one-dimensional person. And I think that I agree with you. I think you're elements of all of these people. I think you also have a little bit of Steve energy in the sense that like you are silly and funny. People like to be with you, but also you really fiercely know the people that mean something to you and you'll stick by them. And that's what we saw Steve do for Miranda.
That's so nice. I would love to be like Steve. I
I'm
also have
giving
an
you Steve
excellent
energy.
half-court shot.
Oh, there you
So
go.
good.
There you go.
I think you know I don't.
Have you
Okay.
ever picked up a basketball, Salina?
I have,
Okay.
and I mean, I tried out for the basketball team when I was in 8th grade.
You
It didn't
did?
go well. Have I never told you this
I
story?
tried out in 9th grade and it didn't go well.
Really? I
Yeah.
would just assume you
Or
would be
10th
great.
grade. No.
Okay. No, I tried out in 8th grade. I didn't make it. I went to the coach afterwards, and I asked him to give me another shot. And he was so moved by that he gave me another shot, and then did not put me on the team. But you know what? I was resilient 13-year-old is what I'm
You
going to
miss
tell myself.
100% of the shots you don't take.
Thank you, Wayne Gretzky.
Welcome.
I'm 5'2", and I wasn't very good.
Basketball's
okay.
tough for a short person.
Yeah, it's all right though.
All right.
Look at me now.
Now. Just surviving and thriving.
I know everybody's always like, "Well, you so athletic, Selena. Look at you on the field."
She can't play basketball, but boy, can she play
Something. Not games. I don't know. Okay.
a gong, a
Oh,
meditation
yeah.
gong.
I can play the
That thing.
yeah. Why is it not coming to my head right now?
Bowl?
I can't play the game of memory. It's a Tibetan bowl. Thank
Yep.
you. A Tibetan singing bowl. All right. Well, do we feel good about our character arc
The best.
along with their character arcs?
The
Okay,
best.
wonderful.
Great.
Well, next up, it's our first ever watch along. I think
is.
we're watching along. Okay.
It is.
As in, we are going to be together and not asynchronously. Help me.
Asynchronous.
It will not be an asynchronous watch. It will be us watching the 2-part series finale and then chatting about it. You all, I need you to understand. We have never since 2021 sat down and watched a television show together for the podcast. This is a big deal.
See how I feel about it. I don't know what kind of partner you are at watching TV.
I guess I got to be on my P's and Q's. I hope there will be snacks. And so we'd love everyone to follow along with us and engage. Instagram and Facebook at Sweet Tea and TV.
I was just thinking, it's your house. There better be snacks. Then I realized what an a-hole thing that was to default to. So that just happened in my head, and then I
don't know,
admitted it.
Selena. Will you have snacks? I don't know, Nikki. I think you know I will.
God,
You probably don't want the kids to watch, you know?
Prefer they don't.
Right. So you can also find us on TikTok at Sweet Tea TV Pod, YouTube at Sweet Tea TV 7371, email sweetteatvpod@gmail.com if you'd like to reach Nikki about 5 a.m. in the morning. And then you can also find us on the internet at www.sweetteatv.com, or you can just Google Sweet Tea TV. You will find us. There are also several ways to support the show. Tell your friends and family about us. Rate and review the podcast wherever you listen. We also have some additional ways available from the website, from our Support Us page. Come back Thursday for an Extra Sugar / book club mashup where we're going to discuss the book and author that started it all. That's right, Sex and the City and Candace Bushnell. And just like that, we'll see you on Thursday.